Hey, Ordway Education. My name is Natalia Romero Arbeláez, and I am part of the Green Room faculty. So today, I'm going to be walking you through a really good warm-up for your body and your voice. So it's important to warm up your instrument before you start. Just like as an athlete, before you do something strenuous like run a 5K or sports, you want to make sure that your body is warmed up and ready to go so you don't injure yourself. Singing is the same. So we need to start by warming up our body, warming up our voice, getting our instrument ready to go before an audition, before we have a concert, before we, have a gig, before anything, so that we can use our instrument in a healthy and safe way. So I'm going to walk you through this, and I will be doing some, and then I'm just going to be playing piano, and you can sing along at home or whatever works for you, and I'll talk you through some of my process. All right, let's go. Okay, so the first thing you want to think about is we want to think about our body and having our body ready to go. So I always like to start with just a stretch. I'm going to stretch to the side and stretch out these intercostal muscles and my ribs. Stretch to the other side. As you're doing this, it's really important to breathe. Something cracked. Give yourself a hug. Stretch one arm. Stretch your other arm. Want to bend down, touch your knees or your toes, whatever's easiest. And when you're down here, nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Take a deep breath in. And slowly let yourself come up. Take your left ear, bring it to your left shoulder. And if you don't feel that stretch, you can stretch out a hand until you feel kind of where that big stretch is. I'm learning that I am tight. Okay, take your right ear to your right shoulder. You can stretch your opposite hand or stretch the same hand until you feel that stretch. Good. Chin to chest, breathe in. And exhale. Chin to the ceiling. Breathe in. Exhale. Move your head all the way around. Now, the way that we stand when we sing is really important. So I like to think about my body having 5 points of balance. So I'm going to take a step back. So the first point of balance is your ankles, right? We can lean way forward, we can lean way back. So we want to feel like we are nice and balanced wherever we are. Then we have our hips. Our hips can be forward, our hips can be to the side, right? We want to think about our hips and our ankles being aligned. Then we have knees. We want our knees to be nice and loose. When our knees are tight and locked, eventually we lose circulation, right? So you want to have ankles that you feel like your body is not too far back or forward, knees that are loose, hips that are not too far back, too far forward, side to side, and then we have your thorax. So your thorax, I think, is the trickiest thing because it contains your lungs. Now, when we think about our lungs come all the way forward, but our lungs also are around us, right? They connect all the way inside. So we're not like bellows that open in one direction, but our whole body is connected. So when we think about a good breath, I like to put one hand on the small of my back and one hand on my stomach. And I feel both of these moving. So can you close your eyes and can you take a breath in? Breathe in. And breathe out. Now, can you take a breath like you're scared? I'm going to do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Try it again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. When I do that, I feel everything moves up really fast. It's a really high, sharp breath versus when I exhale everything and I breathe in and I exhale. So inside of our body, we have a muscle. When you find the top part of your rib cage, or your rib cage kind of meets, we have a muscle called the diaphragm. The diaphragm looks like a little upside down bowl or like a hat. And when it contracts downwards, pulling your lungs that are attached, right? And as you inhale and as you exhale, it releases. So as you inhale and as you exhale. And this motion happens thousands of times per day. We can think about like, I'm going to hold my breath, but we breathe and our diaphragm just does this beautifully and masterfully. Now, when we think about breathing as a singer, we want to think about the breath feeling connected and all the way around our body, not just like, right? But like your back should expand too. So I want you to grab a chair, and I'm going to show you some tricks for this. So I'm here, I'm going to lean, put my shoulders together. There we go. And I'm going to sit, and I'm going to lean, and I'm going to just take a deep breath in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. You know, when I do that, I've done this a lot, and I think about this a lot. I feel my stomach expanding, but I also feel the small of my back kind of stretching as I inhale and exhale. So can you put one hand on the small of your back, and the other one you can just lean on, and can you take a breath in? So breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, so all of this is connected, right? When I think about my body and being aligned, I don't like the word posture. Posture feels really stiff. Alignment feels active, right? Active and loose. So I have my ankles, I've got my knees, I've got my hips, I have my thorax, which is all of this, which means I'm rooted at the breath. My diaphragm contracts. My breath is down and out. And as I exhale, things relax. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have our shoulders. But then we have something called our AO joint. Our AO joint is like the ponytail joint. It's where your spine connects with your skull, right? So our spine and our skull are not attached like this. Our skull and our spine are, it's hard to see on a video, connected, right? So our AO joint is what helps us when we're looking up and we're singing high, all right? Or if I'm singing like this. And we want to think about our AO joint being loose, almost like there's like a string pulling the top of my head. And my head is just gently relaxed, right? So not here as I'm singing, I feel tension. It's just free and easy as I sing, right? So all of that are things that I would start with before you even sing, right? And this can be done much quicker than this whole walkthrough, but the idea is we have to start with this to get to where we need to be. All right, now let's think about breath, right? So when we breathe, a lot of things happen. Our diaphragm contracts, right? Our lungs expand, our internal intercostal and external intercostal muscles, which are the muscles that are between your ribs, right? They contract, and then the internal ones contract, and your ribs come back, right? So all of us, we inhale, we exhale. Happens a lot, right? Now, when we think about taking a really good breath, what I like to do is I like to practice this by exhaling all of my air. So I'm gonna let all of my air out. Pretend you turned 4, congratulations. Can you exhale? Pretend you have 4 candles. Ready, set, go. When you're out of air, you're gonna just breathe in. Did you notice that that was silent? That was a silent breath. A good breath is a silent breath, right? So we're gonna try that again. We're gonna breathe out. And good. Now I get a lot of questions like, Natalia, how can I hold notes longer? How can I sing longer phrases? And that happens with breath resistance, right? So the idea of I'm going to practice my breath control and my breath support. So a good way to do this is to count, right? So let's say we're gonna inhale for 4 beats, we're gonna hold for 4 beats, and we're gonna exhale on an SH for 4 beats, like this. So I'm gonna inhale, hold, SH. Shh. Pretty easy. Try it with me. Ready? So we're going to inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. Shh. 2, 3, 4. Now let's add. Let's inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. So let out your air. And in. Hold. 6. Shh. Keep going. Let's go to 8. So I'm going to exhale all my air. Inhale. Hold. 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we try it with 10? So ready? Exhale. Inhale. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is something that you can do, I mean, honestly, kind of anywhere. You can do it while you're practicing, but you can do this like when you're in the kitchen, cleaning, cooking, when you're in your car, when you're driving, when you're on the bus, right? Where you can just, and it can be silent or shh. I also really like what are called semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. Fancy way to say stuff where your mouth isn't just open like ah, but like a lip buzz. Where my lips are just barely touching, that air can come out, or like a lip trill, or a rolled R, or a TH. There's a bunch of them. So you can try and see which one feels the best. If you're trying to do a buzz, like a lip buzz, and you feel like I can't, I'm getting stuck, there's two things that might be happening. One is your airflow steady. When our airflow is not steady, we can't sustain the lip buzz. So for example, steady air, right? Versus unsteady air. It's hard to even start it, right? The other thing that might be happening is it's hard for us to make that sound. So sometimes I like to just brace, like I'm gonna just hold the corners of my lips and I'm gonna just support them to help me make that sound. So your body is yours and you get to figure out what feels the best, the most comfortable. I like lip buzzes. So when I'm thinking about breath support, I'm gonna inhale for 4, hold for 4. I'm gonna lip buzz for 6 beats. Try it with me. So we're gonna exhale, inhale, 1, hold, 6 beats. And the idea is your breath steady? Are you hearing, or is it? When we think about a lip buzz or another semi-occluded tract exercise like a TH or a Z, we want to make sure that we're not like pumping the gas too hard. It's not right, and like spit flies, air flies, germs. We don't want that. We want it to just be easy. Versus, can you try one where you're going over the top? Ready? That's too much. We're doing too much work. Versus easy air. Right? Okay, all of this is just getting you to think about your breath, your air, and your body. So let's recap. First, we want to think about our body and stretching our body. Stretching your head, stretching up, stretching down, whatever you need to stretch to make your body feel awake. Massaging your jaw. I feel like we hold so much tension in our jaw and in our faces, right? Taking time to check in with your body. Once we've kind of warmed up our body, not just rolled out of bed and we're going to hit an audition up, we want to then check in with how we're standing, right? I sit at the piano often when I sing, and I am totally guilty of like this, right? But even when you're sitting, you can find ways of sitting at the edge of your chair on your sit bones where your body is tall, my feet are flat, I can take a good breath, right? I can do all these things sitting, and then when I stand, I just stand, right? It's not like I'm sitting, I'm here, oh, I gotta sing, and then it's like the whole, oh my God, and then, right? That's not what we want. We want to think about our body being aligned even when we're sitting. Okay, so when we think about our body alignment, we have our ankles, we have our knees, we have our hips, we have our thorax, which includes all of our guts, our viscera, everything that's in our lungs, everything. Then we have our AO joint, which again is that joint that helps us move our head forward and back, that we want it to feel really, really loose. Now we have all of that, and when we start a warm-up, I always like to start with just making sound. Lip buzzes. I do this like all the time at home. I do this in the car, right? I do this in my classroom of a teacher, as you can see, when nobody's around, right? Just things that I can do to help my voice just like get going. These are all things that you can do. Now, in my next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a really good vocal warm-up. So this is like the body work. The next part is the singing work. All right?